Okay. Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 650. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Corey Feinsod
Hello.
and Tony Korkanakis.
I made a mistake again.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, true believers,
Welcome, true believers.
to the 650 of the Moviecast. Mike is off tonight. He got to go to a Yankees game. Bad for him though with this air quality. I feel horrible. It is nasty outside. You got to mention it on this podcast, guys. If you're in the
Northeast tonight. Yeah.
not even northeast. It's like out to Minnesota.
Yeah, it is out there.
It's like it's crazy.
Also,
how big
Judge
this
is on the injured reserve list or whatever, so can't even see him play.
Oof.
Double
Yeah,
whammy.
that's true. Double whammy for him. Yeah, so you couldn't see him, but yeah. But hey, congrats to go see a game. At least free game for him. Can't go wrong with that. But man, I'm shocked they're playing in the air quality. I mean, the air quality is so bad here. Can't keep sitting on that too long. But it just smells like a bad fire outside, like bad wood. So, all right, guys, this is the movie cast, folks. We have a movie that came out. If you didn't know this, Cross Spider-Verse came out, and man, whew, led the box office and deserves so, right? I mean,
Leading the summer, even beat out Guardians opening
It
weekend.
was, it was 120.5, I think was the
Yeah,
final number.
I think so. Yeah.
120.7 was adjusted. So number one movie in the country, beating Little Mermaid that did okay at 41.4 million actually. 56% drop, which isn't terrible for that. But Spider-Verse besting its opening from obviously the first movie, which didn't have to do too much. But damn, as long as the percentage drops are good on this thing, could be amazing. Could be amazing for them.
Yeah, no, and like as soon as I watched it, I was like, wow, I need to reevaluate my predictions from last week
Yeah.
because this movie not only successfully pulled off what it was trying to do, like financially, it's doing so well. And I didn't think like I knew it was gonna be good. I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it was, and this
Told you guys.
deserves repeat viewings.
In my defense, Tony, I was the one arguing with him that this was the number one movie of the month.
No, I was with you. I was like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I was like, this is Spider-Man. Like, this is Spider-Man's month. And I
So what do
think,
you guys think?
I mean,
Just spoiler
spoiler free because we're doing a
We're doing a spoiler
cast
cast
tonight.
tonight. Yeah.
But God, this is just. Don't get me wrong. I love the first one. It's probably top 10, if not top 20 material.
I mean, it was
on our list.
it was our number one. It was definitely number one movie of the year. I think for some
For
of
most.
us. That
I was still
year.
Endgame for me, but yeah, I get that. I think it was my number 2 that year. But where Into the Spider-Verse was like, not to say it played safe, but like they didn't, they pushed the boundaries. But this just shatters them. This just takes any perception of what a sequel can be and just turns it upside down.
Does it sound very much like a video game that we're both playing? We're playing right now. Like, how do you take something that was really good,
yeah,
and then
exactly,
just blow it apart? Like,
exactly, because it's like, okay, and I'll say, it's not spoiler effort, but like the one thing I was kind of cautious about going into it, and just because of the previews, I know you have to market it that way. I was like, man, I really hope it's not like, hey, remember this Spider-Man? Remember this Spider-Man? Remember this Spider-Man?
Right.
It's like, I don't like. I prefer it when it's not always in your face and you're like, oh, like, but you catch it in the background or something like, oh, that's awesome. Like, it's more of like an Easter egg or hidden egg, whatever.
Cuts and stuff.
Right, and I'm glad they did not really do it. Like, there's like one section,
there's a
but it's
few.
really quick. And it doesn't
nice.
detract. It's fine.
It's sprinkled in perfectly.
Right, but I was worried. I was so worried that it was going to be overdone. And I was going to be like, yeah, I don't care about Hostess Spider-Man. Like, whatever. Like, just, whatever.
This was, guys. I mean, I can't even. I still don't. I was hoping by now I'd have words for this movie. That's how impactful. Listen, there are two. I guess you want to call them characters. You can't call them both heroes that I love from Marvel, and I've said this on multiple podcasts previously. One is Magneto, the anti-hero. I guess you want to call him. He's great. He's my favorite character, I believe. Spider-Man is probably my favorite hero of all time, and so. I thought what we had with like Sam Raimi's films, and then even the No Way Home, Homecoming, I was like, man, they're really nailing it with Spider-Man. This is so amazing. I had no idea that this level existed. Like that's where I'm at with this movie. This is not only one of the best Spider-Man movies of all time, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Automatically, I want to go back and see this movie.
I'm already like, oh, can I see it this week?
It is amazing. This movie, I can't even I cannot wait to talk about this in the spoiler cast. But guys, I am. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. There's no question in my mind. It is a 10 out of 10.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Yeah.
No, I can't disagree as far as what they've done here. Not just with storytelling and
animation,
character building, but like the combination of storytelling, animation, and music.
Everything.
Like those three things, they nailed every one of them. And I was just blown away. Like this is supposed to be a PG kids movie. Like this is amazing what they're doing. I just loved how they mixed so many different art styles.
Yeah,
they all made it look like it belonged. Even some of the other stuff that they pull from,
other
different, like it still looks like it belongs. That's like, what is happening? Like, this is ridiculous. It's so crazy how good they made it. And like you said, they didn't make the Spider-Man jokes to the point where it's like you're putting your own characters down, but at the same time, you're also like they made it more of an honor type of thing. But we'll get into it more in the spoilercast because again, we definitely need to talk spoilers for this movie because there's just so much that's getting thrown in your face and there's so much cool things to like just dissect and unpack.
Yeah, and, the one other thing I'll say before we get into the spoilercast later tonight is I really appreciate how this movie was more than just Miles's movie. And I think that's so hard for
Miles' movie. I don't think
we'll get into that in the spoiler cast. But just the fact that you have potentially so many heroes that you could focus on and stuff like that, and it's easy to get messed up. Like we could see you look at Spider-Man 3 where they had to juggle 3 villains and it just never came together, never coalesced, it just kind of fell apart. But to do that with heroes, like main characters, that's so hard. But so I commend them.
I introduce new characters and make them just as lovable and unique and
the new I can't wait to talk about the new Spider-Man.
Remind me to ask you guys a question during the spoiler cast about Gwen Stacy. If you guys can remember this.
Yep.
I don't want to bring it on the air. I'm afraid of spoilers, so I'm just gonna wait for the spoiler cast. So just remind me to ask you that. Hopefully that'll trigger what I'm remembering here. But okay. So number one movie, it was fantastic. We all recommend it. It's amazing.
Right back.
Yeah. Great movie. Opening this week though, Transformers, which I've not heard very good stuff unless you're a fan, unfortunately.
So far, I mean, it is rotten. I think it's hovering around a 65 last I looked or something like that, which, whatever. It's
like, for me, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm like a diehard Transformers fan, but I have really enjoyed these movies when they hit, like when they are just fun. The original popcorn flicks. So the problem, I mean, I even saw last night. The problem I have is is it that level or is it Tim Geddes, I think is one of the guys who does.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he actually got to watch it already, and said, I was really hyped with Bumblebee. I feel like they still haven't delivered after that yet.
Yeah,
that's pretty much that's what he said. So hoping that they can still do that in the future, but he said that this was not this is more of a Transformers fan movie, but he's like it's not very enjoyable for others.
Yeah,
that's pretty much,
and that's fine. I don't want to say I gave up, but I was disheartened that they didn't want to continue up with what they laid out with Bumblebee, because I thought that was a really great movie, the best one probably since the first one, which I thought the first one still holds up as a popcorn movie, just kind of an action summer,
Yeah, sorry. Thing. I just got distracted.
No, I was making sure you were okay. I was like, you're right.
No, I just heard a yell and I was like, what was that? But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'll see it. I did hear that it is if you're a fan of Transformers, either Beast Wars or original,
I am,
or the Movieverse, you will have fun. But yeah, if you're I've never seen these Transformers movies, it's probably not going to do much for you. So, and that's fine. I mean, look, as much as I love Marvel stuff and I love some DC stuff, I definitely think the past decade has been oversaturated with a lot of cape movies, and that's why I am happy there was success last year with Top Gun Maverick. That was so refreshing, what was it? Even fast, the fast stuff.
Avatar.
Avatar. So I'm happy that Transformers, and I hope it does well. I hope it does well.
We'll see. I mean, worldwide, I still expect it to do very well.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. So I will say that I did post a little article in our news about the most hyped movies. I don't even know where this poll came from really, but it did poll a good sized audience on expectations, just like average Joes. And I will say Indiana Jones led that. I was surprised by that. Because even I'm like I'm saying never underestimate that movie, but I'm still surprised that there is that much hype for this. We'll see when it opens.
I don't know. I think, and I don't look too deep into that. I mean, I clicked on it, but
Yeah.
my understanding, that's more of like a hey, we're going to show you a list of movies, and you pick up the ones that
Yes.
you recognize, which is like
releases.
like different than I'm going to pay money to go see this. So I'm still skeptical. I mean, but the brand name Indiana Jones still has a lot of weight with like the older generation and stuff like that. But again, I'm like kind of like with Michael Keaton Batman. Like I just don't think the younger generation is going to care for this. And we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, the Flash is opening soon, but it's gonna be a good June month. I mean, the Flash, I'm not hearing great things anymore. The other part of that news was we posted about all those celebrities hyping the movie up. It doesn't look like it's a very solid movie from Screen Rant's review, right? Have a Screen
very
Rant?
mixed.
It seems middling and it's average. Whatever. Like it's
gonna be.
It's fine, but it's not
I'm hoping it's
groundbreaking like everybody was
it's
making
fun.
out to be. Like
No, I know. As long as it's a fun movie. I was just talking before Tony, when we were waiting for you to get on, I was talking to Corey about that. Like, I hope I'm not expecting Spider-Verse because not even like there's not even.
And that's the thing. It's not.
that's like-
It's coming out of Spider-Verse. I was like, "There's no way. Like, there's no way
don't
I
even
could
know
see." It.
at this point what movie's going to beat that for my movie of the year at this point. I don't even think there is one.
Well,
I mean,
that's not what Flash is gonna. Flash is never gonna even compete for that.
no. I'm just saying like that's that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not expecting Spider-Verse because like that right now is my movie of the year, and it's June. But so I'm hoping the movie's fun. That's really what I want to get.
I mean, you're already playing your game of the year, Jim. So come on.
That's crazy, right? I could be playing either one of my game of the year because I played some Street Fighter 6. But yeah, but yeah, it's interesting that it's June, and I mean Dune's this year, right? I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, there's still some big heavyweights coming in, so we'll see. But this movie, it's for me, it's perfect, and so I don't see how anything's going to beat it. Just like Tears of the Kingdom at this point. But I'm not saying it's my of the year yet.
It's just a very strong front runner, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
No, I think with the movie, it's like we're getting some good movies here, and like I said, I don't know. You guys talked briefly. I stepped away, but Transformers, I do think it's gonna do well. I think it's gonna be fine as far as what it can. I don't think it's not as good of a movie, but I think financially it'll be fine for what it is.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I do think that Spider-Man can potentially lose a little bit of the kid audience just because I don't know if they're gonna follow it as well as.
How'd your boys follow it?
No, they liked it and everything.
Yeah. They were.
I think
I can't say that. Never mind. Spoiler cast. I can't. We'll talk about that.
I think it can be a little overwhelming at times.
I could see that because even there was a couple times where I'm like, wait, and I had to think about it. I was like, why just happen? I don't know about you guys either, but like at my theater, some of the audio just did not. Yeah, the sound was kind of like.
We went to the Dolby, and that was fine. Like we got some great sound and like audio mixing because they talked about. I saw like all articles like. The sound mixing at some theaters was not good. And I think it's probably just the quality of the theater.
Yeah,
because I went to it and stuff.
Yeah, I went to
because everything sounded great.
I went to my fucking local Regal and saw an RPX, and I was just like, eh. But it was like I think
that could just ruin the experience.
It can,
yeah. And that's amazing.
I always will remember Alien Resurrection was it?
Yeah.
Turn the fucking sound. It's like some guy. That's so funny. The sound quality in this was great. Seeing in Dolby Digital was amazing, and like I mentioned before, the music was just like they nailed the soundtrack in the first one, and they did it again here. So, but yeah, we keep harping on. We will do a spoiler cast so we can just gush even more. It's gonna be just a lot of gushing. We have to talk more about it. There's so much to say.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. Anything else, guys? You watched, Tony?
What did I watch? Just more Gundam. I'm really loving the series. I know I've talked about it every now and then, but like, it really just, how can I say this? Just like, you take a classic franchise or whatever, like, Zelda or, Spider-Man and stuff like that, that we talk about, Street Fighter even, it's like, and you take what everybody loved about it back then, and you're like, okay, how can we modernize this? How can we get the new audiences again? Because again, just to cite my Indiana Jones thing, like, when you don't when you don't make something in that IP for years, I mean, it's just not going to catch the younger audience's attention because, like, they're like, well, when was the last time we had a good Gundam?
Right.
Like, 10, 15 years? Who knows?
No,
Like,
it doesn't mean anything to me.
Right, it doesn't mean anything to me. So, like, to see a series like this, and it's like, I love it, and, it's drawing all these new audiences. It's just like, it makes me happy on a different level, too, where I'm like, I'm happy that it can be successful, too, because while I don't always need art things to be successful, when I feel like we might not get these things anymore if it's not successful, like, circa, like, Fire Emblem Awakening. That was supposed to be the last one in that series, not to get into game stuff, but, like, Wada's like, this is probably the last Fire Emblem for a long time, so, make it the best one, and just, like, broke records, and now it's $1 billion franchise and stuff like that. So,
no, that's kind of similar. It's like, I'm not, I mean, loosely, but it reminds me of what they did with Resident Evil 2.
Capcom
absolutely. Rebounded.
Absolutely.
Because that game, in my opinion, these days,
Resident Evil in general was
Resident Evil in
falling.
general, yes.
Yeah.
That's true. But they brought it back with bringing Resident Evil 2's great ideas, which was Gundam, into the present day with a new system. Granted, they retold the same story and stuff, but so Gundam's done a better job here. Not taking away anything from Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Sorry, but I'm just saying that Gundam has done a fantastic job of doing that same idea with a brand new story and just hitting it. And it's brought me into my I still have my Gundam kits I haven't even built, but 2 of them I bought, and I'm like, I really want to bust these out and start building these Gundams again, because this is like, it's been years, but I want to get into them again. It really makes me want to go back. Like, I think Wing for me was more about the design of the Gundam than it was about the so it brings me back to that, because I feel like they've done a great job of kind of being inspired a bit by that, whilst and the themes of that, and bringing it, like you said, to today. So it's awesome. It's really great what they've done. So, all right, Corey.
Yeah, I just want to mention that I watched this season 3 finale of Ted Lasso.
I waited for you for that. Yep.
I gotta watch it this weekend. I have to.
It hits hard, but
damn.
So definitely highly recommend that show, and
we talked about last
week.
Week.
Enough good things about it.
We talked about it last week, where it's like I was shocked that it was it series finale I was talking about last week,
We'll see. I don't know.
Finale?
I mean, it's so successful. The thing we do know about the meta, like a little bit, the actor that plays the title character does not look to be returning potentially, but you never know when something's successful.
They did a great job. I was talking to my brother about
Money talks.
Exactly.
It was because he hasn't watched.
I don't want to spoil anything because not everybody's seen it, but like at the same time, like we know that this was kind of gearing up to be somewhat of a potential series finale or season finale, but we'll see. I mean, I think it could work either way.
And then really quick, I did also rewatch the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which is still awesome. And
I still have to watch that. I have it for free, and I still can watch it.
You need to watch it.
Surprise of the year right now, but it's
if it wasn't for Spider-Verse, it's probably actually it was up until my movie of the year. In some ways,
because they are right there.
Yeah.
Because before, like same thing, I was thinking before Spider-Verse, I'm like Guardians and Dungeons. I had more fun in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like Dungeons and Dragons is just fun from start to end, and like everything was great.
You think of a fun movie, but because of the end, because of the end, it's like it's a little bit more like a.
Plus, it's a heavier. Movie. It's a heavier backstory.
With Rocket and stuff. Yeah. So. Definitely weightier there, but no, I would agree. Those three movies have been fantastic. And
Dragons then.
Dungeons and Dragons came out of nowhere, and Spider-Verse just exceeded every expectation possible. So.
Yeah, cool. All right, we have a couple other things in news. Not much this week. We have just the fact that Disney now is apparently allowing Marvel to develop TVMA material. So it looks like because of Punisher.
And I hate that Mike's not on this episode because I remember distinctly when. Disney got the Fox properties. He was like, "Oh, no more,
Well, the Netflix specifically, I think.
Or it was that too. Netflix. He's like, "Oh, no more mature, Disney stuff." And I was like, "Why? Like, Disney still does that? Like, they'll just use another label,
What's most crazy about this is I do wonder, because even Charlie Cox was talking about this being like a PG-13 style, and I'm sure it's not going to be as MA as what Netflix had, but I think what changed this was more about like Deadpool, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
having
absolutely.
that R-rated superhero, and they're not going to change that. They're like, you know what, we have to do it this way. Why not just continue with like the Punisher and Daredevil in that idea as well?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I
that's what I'm
think
thinking.
like, what they need to, and I'm hoping that they're doing here is like it's about the story, like and the character. It's not about like, oh well, this we need to be R rated, so
Blood,
it's like
yeah,
make this R
Blooded. Yeah,
rated.
it's like I
Right?
want.
It just whatever is fueling, pushing the story forward to make it the best story possible, not
that's it.
because
That's it.
we want to have a
Totally.
PG-13 or we want this to be R, just because of, oh, we want this to be this and this to be that. This has to be what fits the character and the story, and there are some mature stories that don't
And that
necessarily
yeah, I mean, and
fit
that could
that
have
younger
changed.
audience.
That could have changed during filming even because it was like I know they talked about it being PG-13, but I'm wondering if during it the director was like, listen, we got to have this, like it's got to be
Mhm.
here,
Yeah.
and Marvel was like, yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. So
Mhm.
Feige, was like, yeah, do it.
Yep.
You couldn't, but that's cool. It's cool that they're able to do that. It's going to be interesting for Disney Plus to have that material. Makes me excited for Daredevil a little more, especially with Bernthal coming back.
Oh, I'm so hyped for Daredevil. I cannot
Mhm.
wait. I wish it was this
Yeah,
year, but whatever.
yeah.
And
I
then
really,
I
okay.
really
mean,
want them to come
it's
back.
hopefully it
Really
can
want them to.
redeem themselves a little
That's
bit,
it.
but
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
them redemption from it.
Yeah.
So
Tangentially, I didn't have time to post it, but apparently Captain America 4 got a new title.
yes,
Mm,
I
yeah.
did see that.
Instead
I,
of the
I
New
It
actually,
World
was.
Order, yeah, it's going to
Yeah, I was
be
gonna say it
Brave
was
New
New
World.
World Order.
Now it's
Brave New World.
Brave New
That's
World.
it's a better title.
Better title, and honestly, like just the association, because there's a lot of like,
Yeah.
I guess, incel,
what is
whatever.
what's it? No, what's it called now?
Brave New
Officially,
World
Brave
was the
New
new
World.
one.
Yeah,
Brave New World.
yeah.
Okay.
It was a Mackie Twitter picture with
With
him in the
Harrison
chair.
Ford.
It says Captain America: Brave New World
Yeah.
on the back of it.
Yeah, got it.
It's with Harrison Ford.
So,
So I'm excited for that, honestly, because like I feel like that movie is going to help push the bringing together of the heroes towards the Avengers again. Because like honestly, I really feel like this past phase was hurt by like the lack of like
direction for it. Yeah.
one cohesive like everybody working in the same direction, because you had
Mhm.
Doctor Strange and Peter, and then Doctor Strange and Wanda over here, and then over here is like the Guardians, and over here is like Ant-Man. It's like there's no
Thor
easily
doing his own
digestible.
thing.
Yeah, Thor doing his own thing. It's like you want to see when these heroes are going to start coming together again and stuff like that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
when we get the next Avenger movie, it's going to be 6 years since Endgame, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And like and they're just teasing these young Avengers like everywhere, and it's like, oh, I want all this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Let's see. And lastly, in the news, we've got Dwayne Johnson to return as Luke Hobbs in new Fast and Furious standalone film.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Spoiler alert, if anyone cares. I don't think
At this
you
point,
care.
I don't know if anybody
Uh,
does at this point, but go on.
Fast X has two major cameos in it that are surprise. One, Dwayne Johnson's in it,
Yeah.
The Rock, and the other one, which I was more surprised because I was like, yeah, Dwayne will whatever, he'll do anything for money, but like Gal Gadot was back
Yeah.
as a character that also character that dies, and I was like, well, everybody that dies is coming back except for one person, which made it so weird because because Paul Walker obviously has passed away in real life, and rest in peace. But like there's characters that die in the like movies that are back,
Yeah.
and they're putting these characters in situations where it's family and like there's kids involved and stuff, and it's like we don't want to put this in danger, but the whole reason this other character left, Brian O'Connor, is because of like family and kids, and now not having them there and then having his wife, it just makes it weird, and I don't necessarily like what they're doing there. Like if you're like
It feels like they want their Avengers thing, and they
yeah,
want it
they're
at the cost
making
of the
multiple
story.
movies. They're gonna have the Luke Hobbs stuff. They're gonna have a female-led Fast and the Furious
Yep,
movie.
yep.
I did see that.
And so it's just gonna make it even more awkward, and that Brian O'Connor's character's not there.
Yeah,
Like
I
if you
get
can
it.
kill him off, like if you're gonna kill him off, that's one thing. But if you're not gonna kill him off, then
And the thing is,
having all these excuses to have him not there
the sad thing is too is like, I don't want to take away from Paul Walker, but I think it's been enough time where you can just recast him, right?
I think so.
Right?
This-
It's been a couple of
Mhm.
years.
I mean,
now.
you could also, get his brother and deep fake like you did in
Yeah.
the other movie. If you really wanted to, I don't know how like the family would feel about that, but they did that to finish the film, and you could do that if you really. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I don't have
Hamill's back as a young, freaking.
Yeah. I don't really have a stake in it. I just think it's so ridiculous that like, fuck Vin Diesel and The Rock, because like their whole feuding and it's like, oh look, like now that we can both stand to make money off of this, like money talks.
Did we mention the fact that Vin Diesel's upset with Jason Momoa?
Oh no, that's right. I posted that. Yeah, apparently people are mad. Or apparently people love Jason Momoa's character so much that Vin Diesel's jealous, and it's like, oh, he's upstaging me. And I was like, shut up, fuck you, dude. Like, just like, get over yourself, man. You're not always gonna be the number one guy.
Rise with the tide. Like, when you have something good in this, like everything gets better. Like, Fast and Furious is great when The Rock was in it. It was never better. And then as soon as he leaves, it starts going down. Like, everybody's gonna be better off. Like, look at what Sony and Marvel have done. They've come together. They've realized they can make more money together than apart. Yeah. Like, so, like, let's not complain about having good things in our movies. Yeah.
I do wonder though. I kind of do wonder, because I haven't seen the movie or anything like that, so I don't know how small his cameo was. But I kind of wonder if the lack of the Black Adam coming together was the result of, this was I need to come crawling back. Hey, brother. Hey, big brother Vin Diesel, I need to come back. What it's going to take, Yeah.
I got
do you think that's it?
Like, $100 million movie franchise to get myself back on.
Yeah, but Corey, do you think that's the case? Like, do you think was his cameo
I easily think filmed? He would not have probably come back if it wasn't for the fact, because he would have just dived headfirst into DC stuff. Not look back.
And he's got more time.
He's like, well, I'm not doing this now. I need something. So I totally feel like it was just a money grab. That's what.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's fine. It's just I'm so tired of like The Rock specifically just fucking grifting all the time. Like, it's just like. And you know what? We've had this conversation before. Maybe we should have a topic on it one time. But like, I know before in the past we've talked about star power, and I've always been like the thing where I'm like, I don't think star power really exists for the most part these days. And I thought about it more. I'm like, it's really specifically because either you have celebs on one end of the spectrum where like they want to be as private as possible, like they just want to act, do the whatever that entails, the red carpet stuff, all the interviews and whatnot, and that's it. And you don't hear anything about their private lives. Or you have the opposite end of the spectrum where it's people like The Rock, who it's like, yeah, I'm going to do, the whole media tour. I'm going to do promotion. I'm going to advertise. But while I'm advertising this, I'm going to be advertising my fucking alcohol, my, whatever.
Every celebrity's got to have something like alcohol and
phone, I get it.
Phone. No, I'm just saying, it's like, that's like the trend. I'm going to buy a soccer team. It's
I get it. But like, to me, I think that actually does remove a lot of the star power, because it's like, whenever I see The Rock now, I'm just like, dude, you're grifting. Like, I don't care what comes out of your mouth. You're fucking grifting for yourself. That's it. Like,
no, I do think Tom Cruise still has it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there are still some, but I'm just saying, like, overall.
Yeah, but like, it's like you have certain celebrities, and because The Rock, he was hit. It feels almost like Will Smith in a way, where like he was just hitting everything. Like everything he touched was gold, and then it just started to go downhill.
Just grabbed the wrong role.
I think it's honest, just because if he was just okay with being part of an ensemble cast, not saying he had to be a minor bit character or anything like that, but part of a larger thing, he could be making these great movies. The Jumanji movies. Dude, I love the Jumanji movies, and I think he's great in it.
Those are great movies.
Those are great. Yeah. And why don't we have a third one yet? And I think Karen Gillian was asked on her Guardians 3 tour about that, and she's like, to my knowledge, we're still doing. I just don't know what the holdup is. It's not on my.
Jack Black on the high right now, like
Jack Black. Oh man, people. Yeah. I can't wait to see how his awards go this year.
Hopefully.
No, I mean that's the thing is his ego has gotten a little bigger than because he seemed like a very humble person, and now he doesn't.
Did he?
And I don't know him personally.
Really? Did he at any point?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like he was very well respected, and
maybe early on. Maybe I'm just jaded because the past couple years.
But that's what I mean. Like you don't, you have these recency bias stuff, and I think that he's kind of ruined. He tarnished it. You have like 20 years of like work, and then like one thing is just going to ruin the rest. Yeah. It's like, and that's where we're at with him. I feel because he really, for me, ruined his reputation with Black Adam and what he kind of did with that and DC and stuff.
Yep,
I agree. I absolutely agree. So
you think real quick before we wrap it up or move on or whatever. Yeah, so I'll make a bold prediction on Star Podcast. I think we'll see Dwayne Johnson in a Marvel movie before we see him in another DC movie.
Oh, definitely. I would actually assume we get him in some animated role or something with Marvel. I don't know. Maybe on the Disney Plus show or something like that. I would just like.
Well, I mean, he's got to try to one up his Diesel, bro. I mean, Diesel's already gotten his Groot stuff going on, so
he'll play Son of Groot.
he'll be the new Guardian. The Guardians, yeah. So, all right. Yeah, that's gonna wrap up this movie cast, folks. So thanks for tuning in. We have the game cast coming up next, a spoiler cast for Spider-Verse. So stay tuned. If you're watching this, we are live on Twitch Tuesday nights starting at 8 o'clock. Please join us live. YouTube the following day. Subscribe to both channels so you get the latest and greatest notifications when we go live and when we post. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're gonna wrap this one up. We'll see you on the game cast.